Hi, I'm Donna Ponto, and I'm here to talk about economic power. Social innovator and activist Ajahn Poo created a social transformative powers framework that the Ella Baker Center recently expanded upon. Economic power, the ability to redirect resources at the system level away from unfavorable policies, programs, or institutions to more community-aligned alternatives, particularly interests and excites me. How do I contribute to this societal need as an advocate or ally? How do my spending and wealth decisions impact this endeavor? And how does any of this connect to my faith journey? Jesus says, "Follow me," and tells us not to drag along a full treasure chest or bank account. He says, leave stuff behind or give it away. Zacchaeus meets Jesus and soon thereafter vows to give away half of his possessions to charity. Acts chapter 2 describes the first Pentecost and then reveals that the early Christian church members sold all their property for the benefit of everyone and shared their meals with unaffected joy and enjoyed the favor of each other. I have not come close to doing any of this. I grew up in a middle-class family, and there were economic stresses. A few days before the end of each month, we had a change-finding game in couch cushions, purses, pockets, and piggy banks to give my mom. That was the same time of the month when she made Bisquick pancakes for dinner as a treat. You see, my dad only got paid once a month, and money often ran out before the next paycheck arrived. Yet, my parents were still able to flee a Chicago apartment for a newly forming white suburb as single-family homeowners with a government-backed mortgage, something I now know was not eligible for most people of color. My children's graduate educations were funded by inheritance wealth, and my career received a positive jolt when I was a qualified woman at a time when university search committees were seeking to diversify their faculty. So now, as a college graduate, retired professional with a pension and retirement investments, I am a financial success story. I worked hard in school and work, but I know that I personally benefited by emerging policies and laws in the 1970s regarding women's rights and workplace advancement. I increasingly feel Jesus the radical telling me to let go, give away more of my wealth and my life to my greater community. But I am very uncomfortable. The EBC created 3 interventions to move the development of community-based economic power forward: an Oakland Economic Development Plan, local reinvestment, and restorative economics. I am very interested in the local investment effort. All siblings in Christ, in my opinion, deserve respect, safety, and vibrant communities. People of color, people who live in poverty, and others who struggle are not just lazy and should not be blamed for their circumstances, as the societal narrative often suggests. People do have responsibilities for their life decisions, yet many of the marginalized do not or did not have the same opportunities as I did, for example, due to social, economic, or political forces at work. Jesus the Radical reminds me in Matthew 6:21, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." I must fight against the notion that the lives of wealthy people like me are valued more since their economic status is a sign of God's blessing. Jesus the Radical focuses on the value of every person and community. I increasingly feel like Jesus the Radical keeps nudging me harder and harder to speak out, do something, and use my talents and wealth as a tool for good. I increasingly feel like Jesus the Radical is nudging me to see my entire community, not just my family, friends, and Livermore, as my treasure. I increasingly feel that Jesus the Radical is nudging me to learn from the EBC staff and the Fruitvale community to help make systemic changes with excitement, enthusiasm, and a wider understanding of the past and present world. I increasingly feel that Jesus the Radical is calling me to follow him.